Mark, you've been there in the mix. Can you tell us what the mood is like among the team and the fans?
Well, the Super Bowl is a unique event. A lot of people here just come for the party. There's 70,000 seats in that stadium behind me, and they only sell about 13,000 to fans of each team. So some people are here just for the party. You have the Ravens people coming from Baltimore, the 49ers fans come from the Bay Area. And in New Orleans, you got that French Quarter where, Bourbon Street's kind of a theme park for alcohol. And but there are a lot of great restaurants, and it's just kind of a mix of very happy people that and their teams are here. And then there's just people here who are just excited because they're here at the Super Bowl. Maybe their team isn't here, but they're just here having fun. So generally the mood is good. I think any trouble happens after midnight when the real fans go home.
And let's talk about another thing. People are also really excited about this sibling rivalry that's really been taken to new levels. Can you talk a little bit about the coaches?
Well, yeah, this is the first time it's ever happened that two brothers have coached against each other in the game. John Harbaugh for the Ravens and Jim Harbaugh for the 49ers. And their mom and dad are here too, Jack and Jackie Harbaugh. And the big question is where the mom and dad are going to watch the game on Sunday. The two teams played last year against each other on Thanksgiving Day, and their mom and dad watched from an office inside the stadium. They didn't want to be out in the stadium. They didn't want like TV cameras to catch their reactions. And in speaking with them, they said they're just kind of numb during the game. The brothers had a joint press conference today, and were pretty funny because they all kept agreeing with each other about their philosophy of football. And they're trying to make this not so much about them. But let's face it, this is a great story, and it was really funny. After that press conference, I saw Jack Harbaugh, their dad, walking down the street, and people didn't recognize him, but he'd see a 49er guy with a 49er shirt on, and he'd go 49ers, and then the next block he'd see somebody with the Baltimore shirt on, and he'd go Ravens. He was trying to be enthusiastic about both teams, but really, let's face it, if you were an American football family, that's the American football family you'd want to be this week.
And because, any way you look at it,
it's not going to happen again.
And both families win, actually. The families win, no matter who wins the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, but one brother is going to lose, and that's going to be tough because Randy Moss, the wide receiver for the 49ers, said, that's going to follow the rest of their lives. Every family gathering, one will always say, yeah, but I beat you in the Super Bowl, and they all love each other. You could tell that just by the way they're around, but that's still tough. Big stakes in this game.
And let's talk about someone else who's going to lose. One of the quarterbacks are going to lose. What can you tell us about the matchup between the Ravens, Flacco, and the 49ers, Kaepernick? I mean, what do they have to do? What does specifically Kaepernick have to do to bring the trophy home?
Well, both guys really kind of have to do the same thing. Joe Flacco has been a guy for the Ravens who's thought of as maybe an underrated quarterback. He's kind of trying to prove he belongs in the league's elite. And Colin Kaepernick is one of the great football stories of the last 5 years, I think. He just came along in the middle of the season as a second-year player, took over the job from a guy who was doing very well, Alex Smith, and has kind of won over the country with his arm, his real strong arm and his legs. And in speaking with him, I get the impression, an old football coach once told me, sometimes the best players are the young players because they don't know what they don't know. And he's just here kind of focused in. He told me the other day he doesn't even watch sports when he goes home at night or goes back to his hotel room here. He just wants to stay focused on the game. And you ask, what do they have to do? Actually, it's what they can't do, and that's throw interceptions. They can't turn the ball over. The one statistic that always shows up is the team that turns over the ball on interception or fumbles the most almost always loses the game. So those guys just mostly have to be really careful and not throwing interceptions.
Talk to us a little bit about probably bringing the Super Bowl to the new stadium in a few years. What are you hearing in New Orleans about moving forward on that and not having any kind of an interception from another city?
Well, the way that it works in the National Football League is they pick Super Bowl sites about 2 or 3 years at a time, usually about 3 or 4 years out. So the next Super Bowl that is available for bid is that they use these Roman numerals. That was another site. They had the Roman numerals come down the river the other night. It's really crazy. This is Super Bowl 47, whatever that is in Roman numerals. I won't say it out. So the next next available games for cities are Super Bowl 50 and Super Bowl 51, which would be in February of 2016 and 2017. San Francisco and the Bay Area are going to bid on both those games, and the guy who's running those bids is here, Daniel Lurie, and he has been. Spent maybe a couple hours yesterday walking around with him to look at all this stuff as he looked at it, and he says Bay Area can definitely handle this, and so they've assembled a committee. They're going to, they have to submit the bid by early May, and then later in May, the National Football League owners will meet and decide. It'll be between San Francisco, Bay Area, or Miami, South Florida, or Houston. 2 of those 3 cities will get those 2 games. 1 will be left out. I have a strong feeling that if the Bay Area, San Francisco bid is good, as I think it will be, I think San Francisco and the Bay Area, with the game being played in Santa Clara, will land one of those games. I couldn't tell you which one, though.
Good answer there, Mark. And very quickly, I need you to channel your inner Las Vegas bookie. Who's it going to be on Sunday?
Who's going to win on Sunday? I'm picking the 49ers. By 4 points. Just kind of the way the odds makers say. I think the 49ers offensive line is going to wear down the Baltimore defensive line. I think the game will actually be won more by the running backs, not the quarterbacks, to tell you the truth. But meanwhile, I'm going to go out in the French Quarter and with my beads and have fun.
And you heard it.
I like using props.
And you heard it right here.
Show, but I have to.
You heard it right here. Mark Purdy, thank you very much. San Jose Mercury reporter for us in New Orleans. Thanks a lot, Mark.